Live from San Diego, this is the Fox 5 Morning News at 9.
Well, although the old adage says that beauty is in the eye of the beholder, a recent study just came out naming the 10 most scientifically beautiful women in the world. So here to explain more is board-certified plastic surgeon Dr. Vince Marin. Okay, so this is really neat because it's all about symmetry in the face. So let's talk first off about scientifically beautiful in the eye of the physician or plastic surgeon. What is that, to be scientifically beautiful?
Well, you hit it on the head with the fact that it's symmetry and balance. And so when we as scientists or surgeons look at things, we want to look at them and be able to measure and categorize. So although it's not necessarily true in all beautiful women or beautiful things, what we tend to see in how the mind registers beauty tends to be in something that's symmetric and balanced. So it's pretty impressive that you'll see things in photography, in architecture, in human beauty, in paintings, all of these things that tend to be something that we perceive as beautiful tend to be symmetric.
So they came out with this list. What's the criteria? What's the conclusions that they came to?
So they kind of reverse engineered what's beautiful for women, and in looking at that, you'll start to see that things are proportioned. So what we'll see is that they took beautiful women, supermodels, traditionally beautiful women, and then measured their faces to try to find some symmetry. And what they found is that there's a number or a ratio that's called the golden ratio, and it's usually 1 to 1.6. It's actually called phi, which is this
I know, what are we looking
form.
at here? I'm so confused. It's like speaking a different language.
It's so simple. It's, in essence, it's 1 plus 1 equals 2, 2 plus 1 equals 3, 3 plus 2 equals 5. So it's slowly increasing just like a shell, or you'll see a spiral in a shell. So you see it in nature and you'll see it in beauty, and faces tend to be balanced in a 1/3 and 2/3 ratio.
So it's kind of how people would see architecture as well.
In the rule of thirds in photography, all of these things come through, and you start to see these things happen naturally in nature, and also things that we kind of aspire to in beauty.
So let's show some faces here so we can see what we're talking about, how the ratio works with beautiful faces. We use Angelina Jolie, the symmetry, obviously. She's got the cheekbones, the beautiful eyes. A lot of people talk about, too, when you're working with, like, noses and eyebrows. I mean, it all comes together.
Yeah, so if you look at that picture of Angelina, that's this ratio was formulated by an oral surgeon, and it's a mask that represents these proportions on beautiful faces. And you can see that Angelina, and she's been traditionally one of the most beautiful women, but the funny thing is when you look at her lips are bigger than that proportion, and that's her kind of, you know, go-to beauty. Exactly. But the funny thing is she's slightly disproportionate, which shows you this isn't applicable to all women or all things. But in her situation, she's obviously a beautiful woman, but her lips are slightly bigger than what's the ideal for that kind of deal.
I think a lot of people would say that's okay. That's all right. Let's take a look at who made the list. So we have Amber Heard, and then a couple of others as well. But I mean, gorgeous woman.
It's funny, you know, and they did these studies and took a lot of celebrities just because it'd be more recognizable, and they applied that same mask to these women, and they found that she is probably one of the most symmetric women that you'll get. Kim Kardashian was another one. Kendall Jenner, one of the model daughter of and then Kate Moss. So you see a lot of these traditional beauty icons that we're seeing in today's day and age. And the funny thing is they're showing right now, even someone 71, Helen Mirren, made the list.
Wow.
And it shows you that this transcends not just age, but also time and over history. So it's crazy.
Now, I know you probably work on a lot of faces where people are trying to achieve this golden ratio. Is there a way, without kind of going under the knife or getting work done to our faces, that we can have that golden ratio and be kind of ageless and timeless?
Well, I think one of the best things is obviously taking care of yourself, but what you see a lot more is contouring in makeup, let's say. So you can see actually women are contouring and shaping their faces to mimic this type of symmetry and balance, so creating high cheekbones with shading. There are things when you do, let's say, non-surgical things such as filler, balancing out the lips, creating things that are more symmetric in your face. There are some surgical things, but you don't have to go there. And clearly, it's one of those things that it's more about, you know, the inside of what someone is that makes you beautiful. But there's another picture up of, this is Nefertiti, and they can see that same mask fits her beauty. So back in the ancient Egyptians, that same type of symmetry is what holds true today.
Well, the Egyptians, they were the pros at makeup.
Absolutely.
You know, we're just kind of following through with what they taught us. So,
no question.
Dr. Vince Marin, thank you so much for this
pleasure.
information. Kind of an interesting list out there. And of course, the celebs always making us work a little bit harder to look okay on local television.
I agree. We'll never measure up, right?
Thank you so much. For more information and this list, log on to fox5sandiego.com. Click on that Scene On tab. Raul, how's the symmetry? How's it looking over there?
Oh, it's perfect. It's perfect. It's very Vogue. It's very good. You're good.